Chicky yo yo yo, peace was good. Welcome to another hip hop album review. This is 295. The album that I would like to review today is Lost Boyz with their second album, Love, Peace, and Nappiness, released in 1997. A very controversial year in hip hop, just because of the whole cliche that hip hop died in 1997 because of the death of Biggie, that kind of thing. But we all know that's bullshit. Because since then they have a lot of artists have been putting out dope hip hop. A lot of new artists had been conceived since then, and countless classes have been released since then. So, and '97 itself was a dope year in hip hop. But like when people think of '97, they think of the bad boy invasion that happened at that time, and it's like unfortunate because they're missing out on dope hip hop. So, this album spawned 3 singles, which include "Me and My Crazy World," "Love, Peace, and Nappiness," and "What's Wrong," which all 3 of them have videos for. I did a review on the Lost Boyz album, "Legal Drug Money," the debut album. That was, I did about a week and a half ago. So definitely check that out when you guys get a chance. But yeah, let's get into the album. You guys should know who Lost Boyz are. 4 members, which include Freaky Tah, rest in peace, Mr. Cheeks, Pretty Lou, and Spig Nice. Those are the 4 members of the group. Now it's 3 because Freaky Tah was killed in '99 at a party. But anyways, getting into this album. So I like the album cover; looks pretty dope. Lost Boyz. I like the font that has kind of like an early '90s font to it. Looks pretty cool, like from like '91, '92, almost kind of like a graffiti type font. It looks pretty cool, and the same thing with the album cover, with the album title. Got the red and green, like the Nubian colors, and it's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty cool. And turn it around, as you can see, very updated pictures. Like you can see the hair got longer. You got Mr. Cheeks, you got Pretty Lou, Spig Nice, and Freaky Tah. Yeah, so alright. It's funny because I this is probably like my 3rd copy of this album. The first 2 were stolen from me, and then I finally found a copy a couple years back. So I was like, I had to get it. You know what I'm saying? So the first time was like in high school. I stupid because I don't know if you guys remember those CD cases that hold like 20 CDs, whatever the case may be. So my stupid had that. I had a couple of my CDs that I fuck with that I really liked. So I used to have the Discman, the anti-skip Discman, which is like a fucking ploy because that shit would skip like a motherfucker. Even with the anti-skip, it's very hard to find good CD players that didn't skip. So even with the anti-skip mechanism. But anyways, so somebody went in my book bag, stole my CD case, and that pissed me off. And another one was some dude that I knew from back in the day. Somebody that I thought was a friend stole a CD from me. So I kind of did. So fuck that dude. So anyways, and then I think maybe like 10 years ago, around this time, I don't forgot. It was like a little around 10 years ago, I found a copy of this album. And I ended up getting this album. So that was pretty cool. So yeah. So yeah, let me show what the CD looks like. All right, pretty cool. Kind of has like that chemical caution, like that factory chemical warning type shit. It kind of looks pretty cool, like a chemical reactor. It looks pretty dope. All right, pretty cool. Love, Peace, and Nappiness. Pretty dope. Got that roster colors, that kind of thing. All right. You take the CD out. Alright. Alright, and then open it up, you got the credits, that kind of thing. And you got pretty cool pictures right here. That's pretty cool. Yes, sir. That's pretty cool. And then you got the track listing, and then you got like the shout outs here. Oops, you got the shout outs here, pretty cool. Now, let's get into the features of the album. The features include, let's see, Let's see. You got A plus. Yes, the same A plus that the Latchkey kid. Yeah, he was like, used to roll with them back in the day. Redman and Cannabis. Let's see who else. King Kawani, the Black Pharaoh Selassie Warriors. Let's see who else. My bad. I mentioned them before. A plus I mentioned before. Cannabis I mentioned before. Let's see who else. And then that's pretty much. Oh, Queen's Most Wanted. Was another feature as well on this album. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that's pretty much the features. This feature is very minimal. Now let's get into the producers. Producers include Big Dog of One Shot from One Shot Deal Entertainment. Yes, Big Dog, also known as Bink. Yes, Bink that produced for Jay-Z, who did You, Me, and Him and Her from the Dynasty album, The Ruler's Back, stuff like that. The one that's beefing with Just Blaze for claiming that Just Blaze stole his style and that kind of thing, which he kind of did. Let's keep it real. But that's what they've been billed. Butt nigga Tim Dog, as you mentioned before, he should be, if you know about legal drug money, you should know that name. Bank Dog is once again. DJ Ron G, dope DJ blend tape, dope mixtapes. Mr. Sex. Who else? Ike Lee 3 for Tunes Inc. Easy Mo B. Mr. Sex I mentioned before. Butt nigga Tim Dog mentioned before. Glenn SON Fade. DJ Rob Alphonse. I Pitoy Jones. Mr. Sex I mentioned before. Big Dog. Glenn SON Fade. Bink. Ron G I mentioned before. Charles Suit. Yeah, those are pretty much the features. I mean, the producers. Now, let's get into the meat and potatoes. Let's get into the album. All right. So, let's get into the first track. The first track is the intro. Pretty much, the intro starts off with kind of like a freestyle from Mr. Cheeks. It does look like a freestyle. In the beginning, he tells the people, like over a beat that Bink produced. Him and Charles Suit produced. And he spits a little freestyle, and then he talks about how everybody, we're back, Lost Boys, we're not going nowhere, that kind of thing. And then the song kind of fades. So it's kind of short, about a minute and change long. So it's not that, it's not that long. So it was pretty good. Kind of sets the tone of the album. Now we got to track 2, Summertime. Definitely a dope track. Definitely a dope way to start the album. This was produced by Bun Nigga Tim Dog and Terrence Dudley. Dope track. So the story of Summertime, that song originally was recorded for Legal Drug Money, but it didn't make the final cut of the album. So this one is actually like the remix, so it's not the original version. I'll post if you guys pay attention, like I try to post like goodies in the description box. Hope you guys are checking those out because I'm showing like a lot of rarities that's tied to the album that I'm reviewing. So I try to do that because I don't see a lot of people do that on YouTube. But anyways, I put the link to the advanced version of Legal Drug Me, pretty much the demo version. Songs that didn't make the album, like alternate versions of certain albums, like demo versions of some of the songs from that album. So that version was actually the demo version of the Legal Drug Money advanced copy. This was pretty much the new and revamped. It's like the remix, so that's how I call it. But really like this song. Dope. I love the beat. Love that joint. I like the line by Mr. Cheeks when he says, "Smoking charms as we creep it through the streets. Lost boys, they bites and they eat meats. They blues, no socks, short skirts, t-shirts, red Reebok. Shorty bounce with friends, 3-piece, BBS. Clone out on the Benz. I want to hit in the car. How How them skins feel. Shorty with the ribbon with the windshield. Fucking dope. So don't really short the album. Definitely has like a dope summer vibe to it. Um, in my personal opinion, that should have been a single. That easily could have been a single, especially for this time. It definitely screams like summertime in New York in the '90s. If you know, you know. So that's track two, summertime. Track three, Me and My Crazy World. That's the first single of the album. Dope song right there. That was produced by DJ Ron G. Um, in this track, Mr. Cheeks talks about having different sexual encounters, different women, and like things like that, and things just end up being, you know, going for the worst for him, that kind of thing. Um, I like the line when Cheeks said, "She cut that hand on glass, plus I love that ass. Shorty sex lips always wet, see. I go downtown cause it's fresh, plus she lets me rub it and rub it the right way, like Johnny Gill would say. I'm glad you feel the way sometimes we just chill and lay in the sack. I rub her back when we're resting. It was love at first sight, my confession. She know who she is. She can't say her name cause I do it won't be true to my game." So that was fucking dope. I really like that. So just him being living that bachelor life, you know what I'm saying, bouncing women to women, that kind of thing. You know, end up catching feelings and shit like that. You know how that goes. So that was track three, Me and My Crazy World. Track four, Beast from the East. Definitely one of the most underrated hip hop posse cuts, in my personal opinion. That was produced by Bink or Bink Dog, but at the time, which include A Plus, Cannabis, and Redman. One of my favorite tracks of the album. Um, I like the line by Mr. Cheeks when he says, "I never thought I'd make it. It was hectic when I scrambled, on point like a knife. I'm talking life as a gamble, living rotten apple. Ayo, wait, where every core is rotten, all my niggas RIP, you see, you're gone but not forgotten." A plus when he said, I buckle up and cash rock like a crash dummy for the fast money. I get up in that ass money. The fact you trying to test me kind of bugs me. I leave crews fed up like handicapped niggas trying to get up. MCs get wet up like with lyrical gun pellets. Whew, fire. Redman, my salads make a magnesia. Cluster 5 speed and bust. The more the merrier. Secure the area. My La Familia is the ultimate superior. We don't jack cars. We jack for aircraft carriers. I bounce like trampolines when I be blowing the fiends to pieces. Hem him like sewing machines in Jesus. Whew. Cannabis when he said, "What's the matter with y'all? I splatter y'all against the motherfucking wall with these raw lyrics. I catapult. None of y'all got the balls big enough to battle. I go on like Erica Badu, 100 times larger than the best is, twice as arrogant as KRS One is. Who wanna test this? Fuck y'all, you don't impress me. No one can test me. An MC so ill, I got AIDS and scared to catch me." Woo! Fire, fire, fire. They were all on the A game, and that's one thing about that I noticed about this album, Lowkey. Um, they Mr. Cheeks definitely stepped his pen game up on this album. That's one thing I've noticed. His lyrics got sharper, and in this song, he definitely had to step his game up because with three lyrical tyrants, I mean, you can't go wrong, man. That A Plus album, I gotta do a review on that album. That Latchkey Kid, definitely gotta do that one day. Dope album right there, in my opinion. And there's a speculation that Cannabis wrote for Ghost wrote for Cannabis Ghost wrote for A Plus, but that's not true. Like he kind of dispute that. He did an interview with Doggy Diamonds a while back. I think he took it down, but he's gonna put it back up. I think that's what I heard. But pretty dope. So that was Beast from the East. Track 4. Track 5, Love Piece of Nappiness, which I believe was the second single of the album. Dope joint right there. Love the video for it. I think when they did the video, I think they filmed it in Jamaica, like somewhere in the Caribbean. It uses the same beat as Hey Young World by Slick Rick. Really dope joint right there. Definitely has like that dope summer vibe to it. I like the line by Mr. Cheeks when he says, "Through versatile style, I begin to finger my peeps because I feel that's the that's only right. We're supposed to beat life so we don't fight. Jealous motherfuckers always want to take yours. Should be getting fixed, but the cops breaking laws. The cops breaking laws. Fucking dope. Dope shit right there. Just his flow at that time was pretty dope. Track 6, Black Hoodie's interlude. It's just like pretty much like a poem, that kind of thing about Black Hoodies. So honestly, I could have done without that. It didn't really do anything for me. Then we got track 7, So Love. That was produced by Ike Lee 3. Not one of my favorite tracks of the album. When I was talking about the whole bad boy sound, the jiggy era, like that song screams that. So I was not really a fan of that. You know, people sample like late 70s funk or 70s R&B, 80s R&B, which I do like, but if it's done right, it's just for this. For this album and for them, I just wasn't a fan of that. So I didn't care for that. Now we're gonna go to track 8, My Crew. One of my favorite tracks of the album. Fucking love this song. Love the beat for that. That song was on heavy rotation. One of Easy Mo Beats' most underrated tracks. That was featuring A Plus and Cannabis. I like the line by Mr. Cheeks when it says, "About an hour passes about my Lucy Deuce and my tinted glasses. I got the bike that I caught from my younger cousin, cause that cat is up in class like a nickel and he wasn't. I'm concentrating on the moves that I'ma soon be making, and once I break that, I'ma show my peeps that I'm not faking. See my man Papa Doc from the block. Niggas wearing first reverse as they handle barred it to the block. See certain situations happen when you caught up in the hood in the game of rapping. You see scrapping now leads to cabin. We used to have each other's back. What the fuck happened? Ooh, fire. A Plus when he said, which one of y'all think you ill enough to bust with plus? Get crushed by the stampede of the elephant tusk. We LB families. Niggas don't understand us. Lyrical scanner. Diagnosing niggas with cancer. You got a problem, I got the answer. Twin glass going bananas. Bucking innocent bystanders. The total sum up is a mathematical function. I just get suspended for keep the class jumping. Fucking dope. Yeah, A Plus kind of got that in my opinion. Cannabis had a decent line, but I think A Plus was the winner for that. So A Plus definitely had the better verse on that one. So that was track 8, My Crew. Track 9, What's Wrong, which is the third and final single of the album. It was an okay track. Again, another track kind of like So Love, kind of has like that jiggy feel to it. Yeah, I just didn't really care for that. Didn't really care for that song. Track 10, Certain Things We Do. That was produced by Ron G. Dope track right there. One of my favorite tracks of the album. Like the beat for it. I like the line by Cheeks when he says, "Shorty hot with the DKNY all night. I think I'll walk over there and get my cry on. She playing hard to get, but when I get that, I'ma take it to the S, son. I hit that. I can see it in the eyes, cause they don't lie. She's trying hard to resist, baby, don't try. Now grab your drink, cause come close to me. It's only right, and that's where it's supposed to be. Now we lounging, chilling the VIP. Fucking dope." So that's track 10, Certain Things We Do. See, that could have been a single. That could have, especially for that time period. But, yeah, so that's track 10, Certain Things We Do. Track 11, Games. That was produced by Mr. Sex, which is a decent song. It samples the games people play by Sweet G, which is like an old hip hop track from the early 80s. You know, around this time, a lot of East Coast artists was like sampling early 80s hip hop tracks, like, you know, with Def Squad and what they did, the rapper just like jacking up with the El Nino album. As early as I've heard it, they've been doing that since like I think it started from the mid 90s, like particularly 1994, and it kind of stopped around like 98, 99. But I would say like between 94 and 95, you know, you heard that like when Mary J. Blige sampled the Jimmy Spicer Money Dollar Bill, y'all, with the remix with Keith Murray, which was fucking dope. But that was probably like my first time hearing when people sampling like doing like a cover, like sampling the beat for that old school hip hop. So it's like the first song I've heard, and I fucking love that shit. Even to this day, Hana used to play that shit a lot. But getting back to the song Games, I thought it was an okay track. Didn't really do much for me, but it was cool. All right. Now we're gonna get to track 12. Get Your Hustle On. Pretty dope track right there. Produced by Pito Jones, DJ Ralph Alphonse, and Glenn S1 Fade. This is a Freaky Tao solo track. Pretty cool. One of my favorite tracks of the album. Like the beat for it, pretty good. I like the line when Ty said, "Niggas saying Lost Boys ain't nothing but fakes. You got your team and they ain't nothing but snakes. You never got shot, never got caught or case. You talk behind my back, but then you smile in my face. You a fly cat. You a fly cat now because you pushing a beamer. Light pone eye. You ain't nothing but a schemer. What you working with? Be the fucking feds. Tie, sue this. Two to the head. You know the times. You know the deal. Front me and let's pack the steel and steal. Fucking dope. That was track 12. Get Your Hustle On. Pretty dope. Track 13. Tight Situations. That was featuring Queen's Most Wanted. This was produced by Bink. Not gonna lie, when I first, this is like one of the songs that I used to sleep on, that I used to kind of skip over. But like revisiting the album and listening to the song, it's actually not a bad song. I actually like it. In this song, Mr. Cheeks talks about meeting this chick, trying to hook up with her, that kind of thing. But unbeknownst him, she's trying to line him up, trying to set him up, trying to get killed, like to get robbed and killed and things like that. So he went to the Bronx, he went to Uptown in the Bronx, whatever the case may be, meet the shorty, that kind of thing. They were about to get his business on, about to do his thing, and then trying to get set up, and then dude's trying to rob him, trying to kill him, and so he's like paranoid, and pretty much throughout the whole track he talks about he's like paranoid, he can't trust nobody, not even his friends, that kind of thing. So he's like, that really fucked him up. So that's the vibes that I got from from this song. I like the line when Cheek said, "I'm in this tight situation. I'm at this chick's crib uptown. Niggas trying to come through and lock me down. It seems like it seems like a setup, and niggas trying to wet me from the door. Have a second one gun blazed, and I'm out. Then I'm in my detour. Shot through the glass, hit the balcony. How could she set me up like that? I caught my balance. She's shot back. I'm jetting down the fire escape. I started spraying. I'm taking 5 steps at a time. Enemy is gaining on me. My niggas try to warn me when my stepping. It's good. It's good because on the low, a nigga had his weapon. So that was pretty cool. And the beat was definitely ahead of its time. It definitely sounded like an action movie. So it was pretty cool. So that was track 13, Tight Situations. Track 14, Day One. That was produced by Bink as well. That was a pretty decent track. Not one of my favorites, but it's a pretty cool track. Definitely ahead of its time production wise. Definitely has like a live feel to it. So that was pretty cool. And then we're gonna go to track 15, Why? One of my favorite tracks of the album. This was produced by Charles Suit and Glenn S.O.N's Fade. Love this song, love the beat for it. I used to fucking play this song on repeat. This shit just goes hard. I like the line by Mr. Cheeks when he says, Why we always on the cut sometime, while we sleep on bud sometime, would I be asking myself that when I turn my cat to the back, while I freestyle and rap and watch them sharks that bite. Why God take me to Queensville? Why them fucking did what they did? I see B Wild getting down. Coco Bean, J Dramas in town. I represent my crew. Speak nice, free top, pretty Lou. Fucking love that shit right there. Fucking dope. So the way he flows is really dope. Really good stuff right there. And then the last track, track 16, From My Family to Yours, Dedication. This is the last track. This was also produced by Bink. Dope joint right here. Yeah, the beat kind of has like a somber feel, like kind of like a song that you'll play like at a funeral. Like kind of has like that really somber feel to it. That's the vibes I get from that. Pretty much the song is about he touches on the deaths of Biggie and Tupac, because at that time that was like really fresh. Because this album came out like in June of 1997, and then Biggie died in March 9th of that year, and then Tupac died in September of '96. So, and then they also talk about how stop the senseless violence, that kind of thing. Like, don't underestimate anybody, because it doesn't matter how old you are. Anybody could come up to you and kill you, shoot you like that. So that's pretty much what I got from that. He also talks about the dangers of living in the hood and that kind of thing. I like the line by Mr. Cheeks when he says, "This goes out to all of us, so peep the session from your nigga. You can be loved by millions, but one clown can pull the trigger. See you aim to get bigger, they bigger for your downfall. Your life is how you living. Kid, just give it a y'all. We strive to be the best. That's what they taught us in the rhyme. Smoking weed and getting bent. We've all been through hard times." Dope shit right there. Another line when he said, "Mom Duke's on welfare, ghetto love no more. We share. You rising to the top, them, but then get hit from the rear. One night up in the hood, I found my own self thumping, cause niggas out there, they feel like that I owe them something. Talk behind my back, they don't attack, that don't offend me. A 13-year-old could just up and end me if he wanted to, blunted with the brew in his hand. Now does that make Shorty rock the man? The beat has a gospel, and like I said, the beat has a gospel feel to it. Overall, another dope follow up by Lost Boyz. Dope album right here. Very underrated. It's an album that I don't really hear people talk about. Because when people talk about Lost Boyz, they talk about Legal Drug Money. They never talk about this album. I do like Legal Drug Money a little bit more than this album. But this album was a pretty good album. This is actually my second favorite album from Lost Boyz. Legal Drug Money being my first favorite. Really enjoy this album right here. It's just, I like the different style of beats, even despite the jiggy style beats. Yeah, it was just dope to hear. Especially the producers that worked on the first album kind of update their sound, like to see what they had, working with and that kind of thing. It's a pretty dope follow up. Mr. Cheeks definitely stepped up his pen game up on this album. Dope dope features by A Plus, Cannabis, Redman, that kind of thing, and countless other people. Some of Banks' early productions on this album. It's not his first. He did some stuff for Blackstreet on their second album. I think it's called Another Level, that came out in '96. But yeah, pretty dope album. Let me know what you guys think about this album. Lost Boyz, love, peace, and nappiness. Rest, peace, and free guitar. Queens get the money, long time, no cash. Peace.